In Algonquian folklore, the Wendigo emerges as a haunting figure of primal terror, its origins shrouded in the mists of time. Rooted in the harsh landscapes of the northern forests, this malevolent entity finds its genesis amidst the chilling winds and snow-laden boughs of the wilderness. The Wendigo, with its emaciated frame and twisted visage, embodies the very essence of hunger and despair. Often depicted as a gaunt figure, towering in stature with sunken eyes and elongated limbs, it strikes fear into the hearts of those who dare to glimpse its monstrous form. This creature's insatiable appetite for human flesh knows no bounds, driving it to prowl the vast expanses of the forest in search of prey. Legend holds that those who resort to cannibalism in times of dire need risk falling under the Wendigo's curse, their humanity consumed by the same hunger that plagues the creature itself. The Wendigo's powers are as formidable as they are terrifying. It possesses a supernatural strength that allows it to overpower even the most courageous of foes, and its mastery over the elements ensures that it remains an elusive and formidable adversary. Some tales speak of its ability to mimic the voices of its victims, luring unsuspecting travelers deeper into the heart of the forest, where they become easy prey for its voracious appetite. Throughout the ages, chilling stories and legends have emerged, recounting encounters with the Wendigo and the harrowing struggles of those who have faced its wrath. From the frost-bitten expanses of the Canadian wilderness to the shadowed depths of the Great Lakes region, the Wendigo's presence casts a long and chilling shadow, a grim reminder of the darkness that lurks within us all. Travel back in time to the misty shores of ancient Denmark, where the legend of Grendel takes root in the darkness of the Scandinavian wilderness. Originating from the Old English epic poem Beowulf, Grendel emerges as a chilling embodiment of primal terror, haunting the mead hall of Heorot in the kingdom of the Danes. Grendel, a monstrous descendant of the biblical Cain, is described as a grotesque and fearsome figure, with a twisted form and monstrous strength that strikes fear into the hearts of all who behold him. Towering in stature and shrouded in darkness, Grendel's appearance is a nightmare made flesh, his very presence a harbinger of death and destruction. Driven by an insatiable craving for human flesh, Grendel launches relentless attacks on the mead hall of Heorot, descending upon its revelers under cover of darkness and leaving a trail of blood and carnage in his wake. His ferocity knows no bounds, as he rips apart his victims with savage strength and inhuman brutality. But Grendel's power extends beyond mere physical strength. He possesses a supernatural ability to stalk his prey with uncanny stealth, moving unseen through the shadows and striking with swift and deadly precision. His very presence seems to inspire terror in those who dare to cross his path, as if he is a living embodiment of mankind's darkest fears. Yet when the valiant hero Beowulf arrives to confront this monstrous menace, Grendel meets his match in a battle of epic proportions. The clash between these two titans shakes the very foundations of Heorot, as Grendel's savage fury is met with Beowulf's unyielding courage and indomitable spirit. In the end, it is Beowulf's bravery and resolve that prove victorious, as he delivers a final fatal blow that vanquishes the monstrous Grendel and restores peace to the beleaguered hall of Heorot once more. Enter the realm of Hindu mythology, where the Rakshasa reigns supreme as a terrifying embodiment of darkness and dread. These demonic beings are infamous for their insatiable hunger for human flesh, striking terror into the hearts of mortals across ancient legends and modern folklore. Originating from the primordial chaos of Hindu cosmology, Rakshasas are believed to inhabit the darkest recesses of the world, lurking in desolate forests, forsaken ruins, and shadowy caverns. Their presence is whispered of in hushed tones across the Indian subcontinent, a chilling reminder of the dangers that lie beyond the safety of civilization. With their monstrous forms and sinister countenances, Rakshasas strike fear into the hearts of all who behold them. Possessing sharp claws, jagged teeth, and eyes that gleam with malice, they are formidable adversaries to any who dare to cross their path. But perhaps their most terrifying ability is their shape-shifting prowess, allowing them to assume any form they desire to lure unsuspecting victims to their doom. Tales of encounters with Rakshasas are woven throughout Hindu epics and folklore, each one more chilling than the last. In the epic Ramayana, the demon king Ravana, a powerful Rakshasa, terrorizes the world with his insatiable appetite for conquest and domination. His abduction of the goddess Sita sparks a cataclysmic war between gods and demons, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. But Ravana is not alone in his malevolent deeds. Countless other Rakshasas haunt the dark corners of the world, preying upon unsuspecting travelers and feasting upon their flesh. The Minotaur's story begins in the sun-drenched realm of Crete, Greece, where Queen Pasiphae, cursed by the gods, gives birth to a creature of monstrous form, a half-man, half-bull abomination known as the Minotaur. Imprisoned within the labyrinthine depths of Knossos by King Minos, the Minotaur becomes a symbol of the king's tyranny and the price of forbidden love. The Minotaur cuts a terrifying figure with the body of a muscular man and the head of a mighty bull. Its massive form and savage strength striking fear into the hearts of all who behold it. Possessing brute force and animalistic fury, the Minotaur's powers lie in its ferocity and relentless pursuit of its prey. Year after year, Athens is compelled to send tributes of young men and women to be sacrificed to the Minotaur, a grim ritual that serves as a constant reminder of the beast's insatiable hunger. But when the hero Theseus vows to end this cycle of terror, he sets out on a quest to confront the Minotaur and free his people from its grip. Armed with nothing but his wits and a thread provided by the princess Ariadne, Theseus navigates the treacherous labyrinth and confronts the Minotaur in a battle for the ages. With courage and cunning, he vanquishes the beast, freeing Athens from its grip and securing his place in legend as a hero of unparalleled bravery. The Lamia's origins trace back to the courts of ancient Greece and Rome, where she once walked as a beautiful queen. However, her fate took a dark turn when the vengeful goddess Hera transformed her into a monstrous creature, a twisted amalgamation of woman and serpent. With her once beautiful visage now marred by the curse of her own desires, the Lamia strikes fear into the hearts of mortals with her haunting appearance and sinister gaze. Endowed with supernatural abilities, the Lamia possesses the power to ensnare and devour the souls of innocent children. She is said to lurk in the darkest corners of the world, haunting abandoned places and desolate landscapes in search of her next victim. With her cunning and stealth, she stalks her prey with deadly precision, leaving a trail of fear and devastation in her wake. The Lamia's legend transcends the boundaries of myth, finding its way into literature, art, and popular culture throughout the ages. From ancient texts and epic poems to modern horror films and television series, her story has been retold and reimagined countless times, each iteration capturing the chilling essence of her legend. Whether depicted as a tragic figure or a malevolent spirit, the Lamia's terrifying reputation as a man-eater continues to captivate audiences around the world. The origins of the Manananggal can be traced back to the remote islands of the Philippines, where ancient beliefs and superstitions gave rise to tales of creatures that stalked the night. Described as a hideous being with bat-like wings and a long prehensile tongue, the Manananggal strikes a terrifying figure against the backdrop of the moonlit sky. Its most distinguishing feature is its ability to detach its upper torso from its lower body, allowing it to take flight in search of its prey. Endowed with supernatural abilities, the Manananggal possesses the power of flight and stealth, enabling it to move swiftly and silently through the night. It is said to inhabit remote and isolated areas, such as dense jungles, abandoned villages, and forgotten graveyards, where it lies in wait for unsuspecting victims. With a keen sense of smell and an insatiable appetite for human flesh and blood, the Manananggal targets pregnant women, whom it preys upon with ruthless efficiency. Stories of encounters with the Manananggal abound in Filipino folklore, each one more chilling than the last. Tales are told of villagers who vanish without a trace, their bodies found drained of blood and bearing the telltale marks of the creature's razor-sharp claws. From the remote mountains of Luzon to the sun-drenched beaches of Mindanao, the Manananggal's fearsome reputation casts a shadow of terror across the islands, a reminder of the dangers that lurk in the darkness. The origins of the Yara-ma-yha-who can be traced back to the sacred lands of Australia, where ancient beliefs and traditions gave rise to tales of creatures that lurked in the shadows. Described as a diminutive figure with red skin, bulbous eyes, and a wide mouth filled with sharp teeth, the Yara-ma-yha-who strikes fear into the hearts of those who cross its path. Its appearance is deceptive, luring unsuspecting victims into the bush with promises of safety before revealing its true, monstrous nature. Endowed with supernatural abilities, the Yara-ma-yha-who possesses the power to lull its victims into a false sense of security before striking with deadly precision. It is said to inhabit the remote and isolated regions of the Australian outback, where it lies in wait for travelers and wanderers who stray too far from the safety of civilization. With its uncanny ability to drain the blood of its victims and swallow them whole, the Yara-ma-yha-who leaves a trail of fear and devastation in its wake. Stories of encounters with the Yara-ma-yha-who are whispered around campfires and passed down through generations, each one more terrifying than the last. Tales are told of travelers who vanish without a trace, their bodies found drained of blood and bearing the unmistakable marks of the creature's fangs. From the sun-baked plains of the Northern Territory to the dense forests of Queensland, the Yara-ma-yha-who's terrifying presence casts a shadow of fear across the land. The origins of the Jersey Devil can be traced back to the dark days of colonial America, where whispers of witchcraft and curses hung heavy in the air. According to legend, the creature was born from the cursed womb of a woman named Mother Leeds, who, in a moment of despair and desperation, uttered a curse upon her unborn child. When the child was born, it emerged as a monstrous creature, a twisted amalgamation of bat, horse, and devil. Throughout history, sightings and encounters with the Jersey Devil have sent shivers down the spines of those who dare to venture into the Pine Barrens. Tales are told of farmers who wake to find their livestock slaughtered and their fields scorched by the creature's fiery breath. From the eerie cries that echo through the night to the ominous hoof prints that mark its passing, the Jersey Devil's presence casts a long and terrifying shadow across the landscape. The Jersey Devil's fearsome reputation as a man-eater is legendary, with tales of its relentless attacks on humans and livestock, striking fear into the hearts of all who dwell in its shadow. From colonial settlers to modern-day residents, the creature's legend has endured through the ages. The origins of the ogre can be traced back to the dawn of human civilization, where tales of monstrous creatures haunted the imaginations of ancient peoples. Described as towering giants with grotesque features and a voracious appetite, ogres strike fear into the hearts of mortals with their monstrous form and insatiable hunger. From the mist-shrouded forests of Europe to the barren deserts of the Middle East, ogres are said to lurk in the darkest corners of the world, preying upon unsuspecting victims with ruthless efficiency. Endowed with superhuman strength and formidable size, ogres possess the power to overpower even the most valiant of foes. With their razor-sharp claws and jagged teeth, they strike terror into the hearts of those who dare to cross their path. Some tales speak of ogres possessing magical abilities, using dark spells and enchantments to ensnare and devour their victims with ease. Throughout history, ogres have been portrayed as fearsome predators that hunt and devour unsuspecting victims with ruthless efficiency. From the fairy tales of Europe to the myths of the Middle East, their legend has endured through the ages, a chilling reminder of the dangers that lurk in the darkness. Tales are told of travelers who vanish without a trace, their bodies never to be found, victims of the ogre's insatiable appetite for human flesh. The origins of the vampire can be traced back to the shadows of antiquity, where tales of undead creatures that stalked the night haunted the imaginations of ancient peoples. Described as pale, ethereal beings with sharp fangs and hypnotic eyes, vampires strike fear into the hearts of mortals with their otherworldly beauty and terrifying power. From the mist-shrouded castles of Eastern Europe to the sun-baked tombs of ancient Egypt, vampires are said to lurk in the darkest corners of the world, preying upon unsuspecting victims with ruthless efficiency. Endowed with supernatural powers and abilities, vampires possess the power to mesmerize and manipulate their victims, bending them to their will with a single glance. With their razor-sharp fangs and preternatural strength, They strike terror into the hearts of those who dare to cross their path. Some tales speak of vampires possessing the ability to shapeshift, assuming various forms to deceive and ensnare their prey. Throughout history, vampires have been portrayed as seductive and enigmatic creatures that prey on humans to sustain their immortal existence. From the ancient myths of Europe to the modern tales of Hollywood, their legend has endured through the ages, captivating and terrifying audiences around the world. Tales are told of lovers who vanish into the night, their blood drained by the vampire's insatiable thirst. As our journey through the realms of myth and legend comes to a close, we are left with a haunting reminder of the dark and mysterious creatures that haunt the shadows of human imagination. From the bloodthirsty vampire to the fearsome ogre, each creature we've explored serves as a chilling testament to the enduring power of folklore and the primal fear of the unknown. But as we reflect on these tales of terror, we invite you, our viewers, to join the conversation. Do you agree with our list of man-eaters, or would you include other creatures from mythology and legend? We'd love to hear your thoughts and continue the discussion. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more tales of mystery and intrigue.